Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I see only three people here now. Okay, let's start it today. Good morning, everyone. Today is a Monday, the 13th of April 2020, and just a quick stream to talk about Forex and what's going on around the world, coronavirus, and the stock market, future E-mini, and oil and gold. So disclaimer, guys. First thing first, any business in the world, any business you have been doing is high risk. You need to know what is your risk, how much is your risk, and make sure that your risk is even, so you can live longer. So yeah, so this stream as well is for you guys if you want to ask any questions. I did post my video in Forex Factory, and a lot of people talking about no, this idea is not going to work. It's always doing this, it's always doing that. It's all really to do with your the way you comfortable to trade and the way you're comfortable to risk your money. So I'm comfortable with my way of trading, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. And you don't have to take my trade really. It's all up to you and your way of trading. If you know that you doing okay, you don't need to change your trade behavior. You need to make it better and not to change it more often. So if it does work for you, you stick to it, just like me. So here we go. Also, guys, if you have any question, please ask. That would be great to find out what is your opinion, how you actually decide to trade every day, and when when you risk your money and you're comfortable to risk that money. If you hit your stop loss, you'll be okay with it. Not to be disaster, not to be upset, angry, or whatever. It's a business. There's always the side of is a loser and winning. So there's always is going to be these two equations of any trade, of any business, of anything you do in life. Okay, so let's talk about coronavirus quickly. I'll be brief about it. As you can see, the numbers now up there, it's about 1,842,000 people infected globally, and death is 113. So we crossed, I think it was Friday, it was about 100,000 people died, and today, only 3 days later on, we have 13,000 extra. So this looks like it's keep going up, keep climbing up and trending. UK is 10,600. Yesterday it was 9,000 something. Now we kind of increased almost 1,000. Germany is catching up, 3,000 death, 127. So it's pretty much in is crowded in Europe. Is accumulated here in Europe more than US. US about 22,000 death. And if we combine this all together, I think they're equal. But still, the funny thing about China, they don't have more cases, they don't have more deaths. China basically, I'm not gonna say that publicly, but it's a funny, very funny, because the virus come from here. It's gonna be called, it's already been called Chinese virus, just like Spain virus, the Spanish flu, Chinese corona. So I think that's what they're gonna call it. And the ground zero, it's flat now. The curve is flat, and there's no more cases. It's really, really interesting situation going on. Especially US is really hit the biggest on the cases. The deaths is still climbing, but I don't believe the status itself it's accurate. I think it's more to it. It's not only these numbers. I think there's more to it, but they don't want to um share it 100% with the globe because they're going to affect the economy and so on and so forth. So they only maybe reporting each country reporting the average because they don't want to destroy their economy by being honest. So it's a sad situation, and you need to look after your health yourself and do not get sick. Do not take a risk because you want to go back to work. And I heard a lot of people talking about people that the government want to push back people go back to work. Is a bad idea. Even if the government decided to do so, do not follow. My opinion, individual view. Do not. You have to wait. I could wait. Me, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just talking about you. If you working and you have full-time employment or part-time, um, for your health sake and your family, do not take the risk and go out so you can earn a couple of £100 or £1,000, because the thing is you could get infected because the virus is still out there. One out of 100 is going to be infected, still infected, and he insisted to leave and go to work, and he will infect more people, and we're back to square one, even worse. So do not follow anything until they have a vaccine, or the maybe 1 week or months later on, after they let everyone go back to work, everything looks normal, no infection, nothing. All reported back positively. Okay. Okay. So let's move into Forex. Let's go to the calendar first. Calendar of the day today is nothing really. Not high, no high impact or anything, but I saw dollar kind of pushed up in the last 30 minutes. But there's no news driving this. However, there is S&P 500 looks like it was going down. That's the 1 hour view. That's S&P 500 future contract, and that's the 1 hour view. We open here. We just topped up a little bit. That's about the 50% Fibonacci. That's this 50% here. This line. So we kind of close at 50% on Friday. We open up a little bit, then we come back all the way down. We're still inside candle here. We're still inside that opening candle, 1 hour, the first hour of the opening, which was 11 p.m. London time. And we're still inside candle. We kind of rotated slowly, but I believe this is going to be weak momentum. It doesn't look like you want to come back up again and reach challenges highs. Overall is a 50%, and I believe anyone brought from the bottom, and he was assuming that's the bottom, he will probably exit at 50%, the majority. So probably going to see momentum down. That was just waiting for confirmation to confirm this, and we'll start to lose momentum. The opening is going to be in 2 hours, 20 minutes of US market, and we will see from there. We'll see where we're going to go from here. I'm gonna go back to. So we looked at the calendar. Nothing. Tomorrow we have high impact China. Here you go. I'm looking for Aussie to be a mover, yen and US dollar. So these guys they're gonna move very well probably from tonight. Maybe after, maybe from the US session opening, we will see some momentum on the stock market, and we will see. We'll see. It's not guaranteed that's going to be the case, but let me just get that. Forget one tab here. Let me just get it. Okay, so that's Fenzivis. It's a very good. It's very it's a free. It's a free to view. It's giving you just the bigger picture or heat map of what's going on around the world and stock and forex and whatever. It's all to do with marketing. So today, um, since the overnight session, we're still 50-50. Really, we're at a 50% of S&P 500 itself, so I think that's gonna lose momentum maybe today and tomorrow. So watch out for that. The world uh, stock like China, like Canada, Africa, US, Europe. So you can see, you can go to that website. I'll leave a link in the chat here. Very good website to have a look every day where we're going and what we're doing with if you trade that forex future stock option, whatever you do, even if you're a farmer, you will be looking at this. So any business around the world, they're looking at the bigger picture where we are and so on and so forth. To go to forex, so I know that bound is strong. That's the day meta here, calculating percentage where we're going, which one is strong, which one is the weakest. So we got Aussie and New Zealand are weak because of the stock is going down at the moment. We'll see if it's going to go a bounce and as a pullback, and will probably will be seller as soon as it starts showing momentum down on S&P 500 future. I'll be looking forward to trade it later on today. Um, Also, if you trade in future, be careful that the margin it's keep increase and decrease every day, sudden. So make sure that you have enough money in your account, and make sure that you look and see how much is the margin, so you have enough money to open positions. If you want to add on, scale in, scale out. If you want to scale in, so remember that how much the margin beer contract cost, because if you think the money, if the position go against you and you don't have enough money, going to 50%, they're gonna liquidate your position and you're gonna pay fees against that. That's what they sent me email saying that's what's gonna happen, and the fees are gonna be expensive, guys. So be careful. So yen is strong, pound is strong, and dollar just started catching up. So probably I see that euro far from the middle. So right in the middle here, we can see that euro and CAD right in the middle, and dollar just moving forward to go against yen basically. So I think dollar is gonna show some momentum today. The reason being is if you stock going down, that's everyone converted to cash, and we have to watch out for gold as well. So see gold is 1700 and a half, very good. I already talked about that over the weekend. I'm talking about 2000 mark. Before that, we're gonna see the 1800 as a sub resistance. Then from there, we're going to pull back and we'll probably hit the 2000. It's going to be a big drop from there because the 2000 mark is going to be huge. And whoever brought from the bottom from 1500, it will probably exit around 2000 and 1800. They always do that in and out until the wave is complete, and the wave starts getting smaller. Then people will start to leave their positions. Uh, Crude oil, $23, not bad, is up today, but is overall is down. It's a bear market, so until we see a good support level, which is gonna show on the price action, I will show you later on the chart. So anyway, let's just move to the chart now. Let's just go to the indexes first quickly. Okay, let's start with pound. After that drop down here, a spike back up, almost about 80%, and we kind of like a pull back, and we're coming back again. What we're doing here, we kind of like pull back, retest, or wave two for one more wave down. I'm looking for 50% to hold here, and the market was going to be close below the moving average. If it does, that's mean pound overall will be weaker. If you start to move today, if I see that day today green close up around here, my expectation the next day will pull back and will break higher. I'm not predicting where it's going to go, but the high probability is if we see that green candle is strong, that's mean there are buyer in the market, and indeed that will push the market up around these levels. Since we did a bottom here, we're about 50% more or less, and now we'll see whether or not it's going to be respected of this move, you know. So watch out for that. Pound is so far looks the strongest on the day, and remember today is not that much of volatility is going to happen unless the stock start to collapse. Then we will see the chain reaction. Also, guys, if you have any question, please ask. Write it in the chat, and I will answer you. Um, Overall, if you're new, subscribe, like, or you don't like, whatever, and leave a comment. Ask me questions. This is a free education, and if you have any question about your strategy, you can tell me, and I will reply to you. Yen, sorry, euro. You can see that euro is losing momentum, coming back down. Remember that we're at 50% here now. So from this move up, coming back down, we're 50% right at this support here. Let's see if it's going to be defended, respected. If either the seller that will exit full position here and that will switch to buyer, and the buyer is waiting for this momentum to be pull back to buy more, then the majority will be a buyer. Then we will see a bounce, strong one. I like to see engulfing these two candles, the previous two candles. Then I will be thinking of euro want to go back up. That's mean dollar index will come back down. Another side on the mirror, you see that Swiss doing exact the same story. 50%, they're moving together. Remember that they're moving together. They correlated in the same direction, almost +1. So watch out for that. Dollar, you can see the dollar is holding this channel. There's a little channel going on here. We did first wave down, come back up, bull back, 38%, not 50, and we start go lower. We broke that low today, and let's see that if it's going to continue or not. The momentum is too slow, but look like dollar want to be strong, so probability is going to hold here since it was strong. So what I can get out of this situation now, a dollar looks like it wanted to come back up again and retest this high, and pound probably will come back down to test these lows, this area here. That's what I'm looking for, bound to come around here. Then I'll reassess to see whether or not you want to continue or not. Sorry about that text, guys. I'm not responding now. I'll respond later when I finish my stream. Yen, we see that yen kind of holding here now, this channel. We have first wave one, two, three. Let's see that if it's gonna consolidate here and break lower or go up. Depends. If the stock is gonna lose momentum today, probably yen will be the other side of the trade as a safe haven. Overall, it could be just sideways here, expand or contract. So we'll see. If it start getting smaller, we'll be watching for breakout either side. Or also, you can still trade in the sides. If you come up here, wait for confirmation to sell. If you come back down here, wait for confirmation to buy. Very simple. And it require patience, so you have to be more focused on the bigger picture. New Zealand, you see that we break out of this trend line, and if I do that like that, we break out of it. We didn't really test it yet, but it looks weak momentum. If, as I said, the stock is going to go down, then I expect New Zealand and Aussie to go down too. Aussie, you see that breakout of this trend line. Breakout looks like it's a little bit strong. Remember that we'll have some news going on later on tomorrow of China and Aussie. So head start, you see that we have one, two, three, probably with four. If wave four stay above wave one, then my expectation is we're gonna go higher. But it could be just sideways first, as you know that wave four normally doing zigzag and confusing the price action for everybody. So that could be just a wave here until we break higher if the stock want to break the 50%. And China news, remember tomorrow night, tomorrow morning. So tonight or first hours of the morning of UK, there's going to be the news. So we'll see either pullback first or either just go to break higher. Let's see. So we talked about Aussie, Swiss, CAD. CAD, as you see that in the it's kind of respecting this trend line, and we'll break lower. We're at 50% of this move up, and we kind of sideways now. So we will wait for a pullback here to test the trend line one more time, and we'll go down or either break higher, retest and go up. Go down to break this low, retest and continue down. I think that's most likely is going to happen because it could be fake out or failure to break lower then come back up. That could be the case. You only have to trade what you see. You don't assume that's going to keep going down. If it go against you, you exit, you assist, and you re-enter again, and you recovery. That's the two scenario you have in your hand. If you enter a position and it start, uh, it doesn't go your direction, and it starts showing that is it changing the idea you already assumed is going to happen, you exit, reassist, re-enter again, and recovery. But if you stay with it, you're gonna lose, you're gonna get stressed, and you're gonna lose your momentum. So my advice to you that you keep your eye on the trade, especially these days. Do not trade big, and you assume that's gonna go your direction. It doesn't work that way. If you think it's gonna go your direction, the opposite of the you assume is gonna happen. So it's gonna go against you. So do not hold. Right, so I'm gonna move to the chart. Here you go. This is S&P 500 on the daily view. As I said, that will close on the 50%. If you That's the 50% of the main move from up to the bottom. We have 50% and we stalled and we have a big red candle. We didn't have that big red candle today. Didn't close it yet. So we still that's overnight session. So overnight session showing momentum down. So when they open, my expectation is going to keep going down because the market already made the top. The high of the day already kind of confirmed because we close about below the opening of the close previous day. We broke the opening of Friday and we almost hit the low of Friday. So we'll be watching out for momentum down to the 38% Fibonacci, then probably pull back and we'll continue back down. Overall, it's going to be wave one, wave two. So overall, it's going to be like that. That if we wanted to hold these levels, so if the case is of going back up, if this is going to be a bull market, then probably going to see a pullback anyways. If it's going to be a bear market, it's going to isolate here a little bit, then we'll break. It's going to sideways. There is no cure. There is no any indication of slowing down of coronavirus in US. So I don't see that it will continue. Okay, I don't see it. It just to break out to rebalance or hedging people. A lot of marketing they doing this. It doesn't. They don't need to be a trader. They're only doing that for a reason of their stock or their hedging. They're doing a lot of the market have so many people using the market for so many reasons, not only for trading, purely for trading for yourself as an income. No, they only do some of them, maybe a majority of them, they do hedge their stock or their production. They hedge the market, they hedge the currencies, and that's why the market move in waves. They will like to keep the price stable price. So 50% is a stable price at the moment from that big move. And let's see if it's going to break or it's going to stay around here for a while. I don't see a reason, as I said, I don't see any reason for this to be a bull trend yet. Maybe down the line, another month or so, we will see momentum back up to reach challenges highs or this range. So there's a range here. If we manage to isolate a little bit, show breakout, and we'll start doing that, then we will be staying here for a while. I don't see it going up all the way up to the all-time highs, which is in February. Yeah, that's the highest, was the 20th of February. Um, Gold, let me just go to gold, the regular one. So you see that gold open low, of course, is now gold look like it start doing correlation between S&P 500 and gold. We opened low, and because S&P 500 opened high, so we went all the way up here because S&P 500 is on the opposite side of the trade of the momentum. Look at that. If you look, this is one here. Memorize it. Look at that one here. They look like quite even on the daily. They're quite correlated on the daily. Um, so where we are here, we have on the daily one high, two high, the third high. Do you think that third high is going to go higher? So we have one wave, two, wave three. I think it's going to go higher. If S&P 500 will go down, then our expectation is the 86% Fibonacci, which is the 800 I talked about earlier. That's where we will be heading to. Probably going to stall here a little bit first. Then after that, we will be playing inside between the 78 and the 86 Fibonacci. It's very volatile. You can see that the momentum is very volatile. So we start to slow down here. Probably going to see pullback before that big move up. So inside the day itself, you can go down to the 4 hours, and what happened in 4 hours, we see that it's kind of indecision all the time. Indecision. There's always in and out traders and hedgers of the stock or whatever. It doesn't look like it's a solid buyer only. There's a lot of indecision. This is a 4 hour. That looks like 1 minute. So if you see that the 4 hour look like 1 minute, is not a good market really. It's only can spot out this level, this area that looks like a buyer here. You can spot this level. Okay, we moved up here, and you can spot that one here. So what do you expect next? Next is going to be something similar to this. So probably it's going to be indecision again, and we'll break higher. A full candle, that will be a good price action. But if you see this kind of indecision going on, I don't think it's a good market for you to stick around because it's a 4 hours. The daily looks like we're still inside this level, so there's no really attractive market for me. And hourly, it looks like 1 minute as well. You can see that only 2 or 3 maximum candles, they have this kind of price action indication of going up. If you if you bought from here from this breakout, for example, it's a good for you. That looks like it's stalling here, so you could exit here. Is better for you until you wait for another pullback and continuation back up. Uh, Bitcoin, looking on hourly. Let's go to the daily quickly. So Bitcoin is the last time I talked about, that was my target, the yellow band here. It went all the way down, rejected the price, and coming back up. Well, about 50% of this move altogether. Unsure. Let me just get this. Delete. So many lines here. Let's just get rid of those. Okay, we break out of this trend line. We have one. How I made the trend line. We have one here, and one spot here, one touch here, and the third one, and we break out of it, and we look like we're retesting it. We're coming back up again. We'll see. But that looks like is not a really strong market. The strong momentum it was here, and after that the market starts slowing down. After that, it started to pull back, and after that, it started kind of like slowing down in momentum. So that could be just a sideways situation going to happen, or break out of it. We will need to see a ground. So we have sideways here already confirmed. You see that sideways, we break out of it. Failure, breakout, we went inside the range again. So my expectation is it's coming back down to this level. So it's a failure breakout, as you can see, guys. It's a failure. That's what I'm looking for all the time. Okay, you could have brought from the breakout, but now you're like struggling because it went back inside. So you're always waiting for the failure. For example, if I do that here now and for break out of this range, maybe I will buy and I will be exit at these highs. Other than that, I will just stay short because it's going to back inside and it's going to come back inside this range. It's going to do the same thing here as it did up here, failure breakout, then we'll be coming back up. Looking for hours, see that level, break out of it, retesting it, and coming back down. See that level, break out of it, and start retesting again, and failure to continue back up as a pullback. If you take this point here, that previous day close, that's the previous day close, is already giving you the marks here. So what happened is we tried to break out first, it didn't work. Second time, it didn't work. And watch out how many times it went down after this test. The third time, getting smaller, then it started to move up. Then what happened? It couldn't break higher. Now we break lower, we come back, retest this support level, less resistance level here, and went down inside. So what you can do at this situation, you can draw a line here, and you make a copy of it, and you draw a line on the other side. The other side is actually this line. So my expectation is this momentum has come back down to these levels here, here, here. 4 hours. Remember, 4 hours. When I say the hour, the time frame, that's mean you have to each candle is going to be 4 hours, and it's going to be a long-term swing trade basically. If you go down to low time frame, in 1 hour you can see that since London open, or I think since London, the breakout very clear here. We break out of these levels. That's a good short momentum. We break all the way down here and we close below the previous swing on hourly 3 times, and we're retesting it now, and we kind of sideways. So that's going to be a major move in 1 hour. See this major move here from the breakout. So this very much indeed is going to be this. We're going to take you to the support level. It doesn't have to touch it, but it's going to be before it. You always take your take profit just before the target, the major move. And I'll be doing more videos on. I will create some videos and series on my channel. I'm working on that now. I'm trying to map it out and see which one the more a priority to be addressed first, like channel, breakout, trend, momentum, price action, candlestick, patterns. There's so many things you can do, especially measure move. That's my main target. I always take the measure move in consideration. So like this one here, if we do this, there is almost the same size of the measure move. I'm looking for the third one. There are normally three measure move in the big move on the bigger time frame. So if you go to 4 hours, if you calculate this correctly, if I do this, it's about 524, 590, 690. If you even below that candle, more or less in low time frame, you will see that, because if we take from the breakout, you see the breakout of this candle to the low, 488. Breakout of this candle to the low, 480 or 70, more or less. But that's the idea. That's what they do. Measure move here. So the measure move is very important. Measure move, pull back, measure move, pull back, measure move, and that's a wave at the same time. But in the short, I'm just calling it a measure move because it does work. There's always the big trader looking for a measure move. From the breakout, they almost always they keep their position all the way until they'll be equal to the previous move. Okay, dollar index. Go to the daily. You always have to look to the bigger picture. Bigger picture. As I talked about my weekend review, that big move up here from this low to this high, 50% looks like it's been respected. We break out of it and we come up to the 50% of this move. Okay. If you have a question about what I'm talking about, guys, please leave it in the chat so I can answer you. Now we touched 50% and we show a button to go down, and we're going down now. What's next? 50%. See that 50%? It looks like it's going to be protected, but we have a weak momentum. It's a 1, 2, 3. Unlike here, we have 1, 2, and the third candle break lower. We have 1, 2, and the third candle looks like we already breached the 50%, and that looks like weak momentum on buyer. However, I just told you that dollar shows some momentum up now, and that looks like we have a pattern, candlestick pattern to confirm that actually we're going to go back up. So what happened now? I'll reset my calculation. If we uh, uh, get out of this 50% of this move, so my expectation is going to be a measure move, and from that measure move, I will be looking for the 50% of this move to be pull back, or maybe more or less if it's a strong momentum, then we'll be looking for another measure move. That's what I'm looking for. That could be altogether higher high. Okay, just drilling down quickly to high high. It's going to be high high. Could be that way, or the other side of the trade. If you come back down to break this 50% and we go below this one, we'll be looking for a measure move of this one. There will be a measure move here. That will be we'll see pull back to 50% of the breakout, and we'll see another measure move. So you got two sides of the trade, or it's going to be sideways. That's the only three things can happen in the market. I'm not predicting, but that's the only way the market does move. So as always, you have to. The reason being 50% is very important, because whoever brought from here, they normally exit at 50%. They want to target the 50%. And if you put this all together, all this strategy to, if you build the strategy that way, you will see it very clearly. You don't need to draw lines or anything, or moving average or magic indicator, because all indicators and moving averages, they're taking the decision from the candle, but they're lagging, they're right behind. But if you see the candlestick, like this one is looking good, but it's not good, not strong enough to break, to override this big move down. So your expectation is okay, pull back. So coming back down strong, one candle red and another candle that looks is okay, looks good, but I will be always stay at 50%. 50% you keep an eye on it. all the time, 50% all the time, guys. So 50% pullback. If it's that failure to hold here, then we'll be looking for a major move. Now we move to stage two, major move, pull back 50% of this move down. Then if it become a failure to continue up, then you will be targeting another major move. If you come to 50% and show some lagging, like stalling and start to come back up, you exit your short and you take it long, looking for a major move of this move. It's a little bit complicated, but that's how the market moves. The easiest, simplest way for you is to look at 50% and measure move. That's your two engine, okay? I will be discussing that in my videos when I make it live. Then you can ask me a question there. If you have any question now, ask me. Or what trade you doing now, and I can look it for you. It doesn't have to be bound only. Um, right. So that's euro dollar. Did I did index here? Dollar index. You see they're opposite each other like a mirror. The other side, they're always using the dollar index to trade euro dollar. Always, that's the case. You need to monitor this too, and the news and the economy and all the stuff. So what happened is we went down, come back up 50%, more or less. In the lower time frame, we will see more details. We're coming back 50% here. Looks like we gonna get extended a little bit, failure to break lower, and we're coming back up now. So we're at the 50% now of this move. Okay, watch out for this. 50% of this move look like it's a failure break out of this last few days. Look, there's a failure here. They call it fake head, and we break below the previous day. However, the previous day even looking dodgy, or they call it dodgy candlestick. So 50% is been respected. What I'm looking for a major move now. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, a major move of this move. So where that major move will take me if I take my extension Fibonacci. This is 100%. I'm looking for 100% to move from here around 0.58, pretty much. Let me just take it the old way. Right, this is 368 pips. 368 pips, yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just break that low by a few pips. Then after that, we'll be jumping up. Or before it, just if you're going to trade it, that could be your target only, that low. You don't have to wait for the extra. It's going to go lower. As soon as it go lower, that's the major move complete, and the big guys they exit their positions. Now your job is to retest that 50% of this move, which is going to be resistant here. I'm telling you from now, if we break this low, we'll go the major move, come back, test 50%, and probably going to test the 50% of this one. Then if it's been respected, then we'll be coming back up again and resetting your calculation. Measure move, pull back 50%, and measure move. I will go down to the details how to do calculate and do this in my series of brass action later on. Hopefully, I've got less time to do things in the computer, but I will definitely put it in my agenda to do it this year. Um, US yen, come back, retest, 50% respected, coming back, I'm looking for a major move now. That's my target now, is going to be a major move. If it's been supported, to have a lower low, lower highs, 50%, and we're coming back down more. We didn't really reach the 50% of this move itself, so watch out for a failure to break lower. There's the other thing as well in the market. You need to watch out for, is it going to be a failure or is it going to be successful breakout. It's going to be in a small candlestick, of course. I will be always looking for a failure. Like here, that was a failure. 1, 2, 3, 4 days failure to break higher, come back 50%, then 1, 2, 3, 4 failure to break lower, coming back up here. You go down to the lower time frame if you don't see it on the daily and see how many candle they're showing a failure pattern, and we'll come back down. Now we're testing the 50% of this. If that's correct, we're going to see a major move here from this high to this low is going to be equal to this high, this low. AB equals CD, if you say so. And yeah, so that could be a major move coming back down if dollar shows some weakness after 2:30 p.m. London time. When the stock is going to open, we will see. If it's still going down, they convert the position, they liquidate the position to dollar or gold. We will know that if we see dollar getting weaker, then that's mean gold is going up. If the S&P 500 is going down, so it's a little bit complicated, but that's how we watch the market. Hi Oleg, how are you? All right? I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I talked about gold earlier. Did you just get in the stream now? Okay, I'm gonna go back to gold quickly for Oleg. That's a silver. So if I'm just purely looking at the candlestick, okay, I talked about the $2,000 here. That's my target, ultimate target. That's from there, from 2000, I will be thinking short. Where is 2000 here? So this just a little bit higher. If you notice that it's going to be higher, it's going to break just above it, you know. Then after that, we'll start to go down. That's the bigger time frame. Okay, weekly, daily. Just to get this resetted. Okay, it's fine now. On the daily, you see that indecision going on for a while now. Okay, because the coronavirus, we are keep coming up and down, up and down. There's a head and shoulder pattern. If you see that, we're gonna definitely break out, and we'll come back down, and we'll continue back up. The reason being is I talked about S&P 500 at the 50% and shown weakness. Okay, we're gonna know later on today. The market is not open yet. See that we break out of here, coming back up. We did what? Major move. So let's see that 50% is going to be respected or is going to break lower. Come back, retest, and go down. If that go down, that's mean gold is going to go up. If that's still correlated. Or if gold doesn't go up, that's mean they're going to go to cash. Okay. So far we trying to break out of this level. We have 1, 2, 3 attempt to break higher. However, don't forget that we'll break below here and we come back inside and we trying one more time. So look on the low time frame. Already talked about low time frame. Looks like 5 minute. Low time frame looks like a 5 minute candlesticks. There's always indecision going on. There is like they don't want to stay in. They're always in and out, in and out. There's a lot of trick going on, as you can see. We break out of here now. We're going higher. We break out of here, higher, pull back, higher, measure move, and we're looking for another pullback and break higher. So the probability is we'll have a pullback here. We see some weakness going on, but wait for the market to open, US market to open, and we'll see how the S&P 500 will do. If the stock going up, that's mean gold will go down. If your stock start to go down, that's mean gold will break higher. So depends if you're long or short. Watch your trade wise closely. If you only swing trader, you be looking at 4 hours, which is looks bullish for me. High highs, high lows. Okay. If you short, it's no good time because we are at the top. We testing the highs 3 times. Try here. Look, 1, 2. Every time come strong down, come back up again. If we only gonna come back again down here, it's gonna be only 50%. It's gonna be less head and shoulder as well. You can see it very clearly here. Break out, and it look like losing steam. Not sure what's gonna happen here, but we have 3 tops. Watch out for 3 tops. If we break strongly up, that's mean S&P 500 go down. So to know in advance where we're going from here, watch the S&P 500. Okay, watch the S&P 500 what 50% at the moment. So I say 60 to 70% the gold will go up if they're still correlated. As I talked earlier in my videos, I said that gold and S&P 500 going down at the same time and going up at the same time. No, there's no opposite correlation. They become plus one. Now they doing the opposite. So it's one day correlated positive, one day correlated negative. So always watch both of them. No, just to take it, say that in your head that okay, I think that's going to be correlated. I'm going to take that trade. No, no, no. You have to always make a measures, see whether or not they're correlated or not. 4 hours. Look at the 4 hours on S&P 500 and gold. They're almost the same. You know, if you look 4 hours, almost the same. Almost. There is no diversion. Okay, so be careful, especially these days. I didn't do oil. Sorry, guys. Let me just go back to oil quickly. I didn't do oil at all. I just skipped it. I don't mean to. I didn't mean to. So that's the daily. Okay, guys, we talk about the breakout. See the major move and the major move. Now we're pulling back. In my opinion, that's a wave four. Okay, that's a wave four. I talked about that over the weekend. Wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four. Probably is going to be like that, and wave five is going to be 50% of wave three. It's going to be shorter than wave three. That's wave three started here, wave three finish here. We're probably going to up to the 50%, then it will be that seeing wave five major move. And I talked about the $10. That's my target. $10 is going to be down here. So far, what we see from the weekend, from my videos I made over the weekend analyzing the whole market, what we see since it's showing momentum down. The momentum is still down. It's basically sideways now until we break lower. That's wave four at the same time. Sideways is keep going up and the failure break out higher, and that looking a strong momentum down. So that's when they triggered our trade, the big players. When you see that big candle on Friday, it give you the confidence that's actually going to go down. Today, when it's open here, that's a pullback on inside the day. 50%, come back lower. Probably is going to be major move, then another pullback before it actually keep going down. You're welcome, Oli. You're welcome. So let's just back to pound. Myself, I was short on pound, and I did short it earlier today as well. I entered some position at this highs, about maybe 10 pips before the highs. So I'm now looking for this to be a failure. I know that's going to be a failure because it doesn't look strong. We are how many hours? We're almost halfway to the session, and we're still at the same price at the previous highs, almost the same price at the previous highs. I think it's going to be a failure, and I took that over the weekend. I'm looking for a failure, which is in the make now, and my expectation is going to be break lower. First thing, we have to cross the 50% of this move, and if we do, then I will be resetting my calculation to be a 50%. So that will be my target. Then after that, I will be measure that 50%, which is going to be equal to this resistance. Then I will be watching this 50%, and if it break lower, I will be looking for a major move. I know it sounds complicated, but that's how the market and how I trade. And that's how I'm confident of this trade. If that's all together didn't work out and we break higher today, then I'll be looking for a major move of this move. Pull back, a major move. Okay? It's all to do with if this move has become a failure today, that could be the turning point today. If that go close red, next day is going to be pullback and probably continue lower. That will be my target 50%. Retest the 50% overall, then I'll be looking for a major move. Okay. The market always does major move. Major move is a short name of Elliott waves. That's the easiest way. I know Elliott wave is very complicated. You'll be always looking for a major move and failure breakout and confirmation candlestick pattern. You need to put all these ingredients together to make your trade strategy work out. Same goes here, guys. We're at 50%. I talked about that. 50%. Try to defend it. but looks like we're losing momentum and coming back down now. So watch out for break out of this pattern here. You see that there's a triangle going on, and the price it is going to show momentum. This pair itself is very slow mover. I know it did the spike big, but in price action very slow. So they did already move a lot. Yeah, I don't trade it myself. Excuse me, I don't trade it myself. I stopped trading it because it doesn't really. I have to like leave it long term. So I always say in my I did talk about that before. I said if you come to the lows, that's a good area to buy for long term. You exit the highs, which is overall. Okay, let me just get the bigger picture. When I did say, you see this is a range, big huge range. Is UK and Europe. They're next to each other, like New Zealand and Aussie. They're next to each other. They're not gonna have much of reaction. They need to have a stable price all the time. So every time the price come low here, you buy it. Every time the price come up here, you sell it. That's what you do with this pair really. You cannot do it intraday trade. That's your only trade. If you see that spot here, it was a small, now expanding, yeah, expanding triangle. So my expectation is to come back down here, come back up there until we see some change in pattern. So far is doing it how many times? One, two, three, four touches, and one, two, three, four touches. Now where we are from the middle of this range, we cross the middle of the range roughly, no exact. Probably gonna do some sideways here, like it did here. See that sideways for a moment, for a while. The sideways probably gonna do the same here. Is not useful intraday trade. If you want to gain really good money, that could be very beneficial for you to trade the lows and highs. Is a range. It's not gonna trend far. You compare this to New Zealand and Aussie together. You compare it, New Zealand and Aussie, they're islands and they're next to each other. UK and Europe, they're next to each other. Exactly the same. There's no much of trend situation gonna go forever or go down forever. Every time I go down, go up. Every time go up, go down. So that's pound yen. See the pound yen itself is a little bit. That's weekly. Sorry. Here we go. From the breakout of this level, we'll come back down. We're at 50%. So what we see from the 50%, now I move to the next level. We'll have one day almost failure. The second day confirmed there is no momentum up. The third day today looks like we're going back inside this range. Okay, so that's a failure of this move. Failure to break higher, coming back down. We will be testing the 50%, and if that's successful, and we become a failure here, and we'll be looking for a major move down. That's scenario one. Scenario two, we'll be looking for a sideways pullback, and we'll be looking for a major move of this. If you start to go down and come back up strong, then there is a buyers waiting here to see one wave, two, three, and break higher. So far, it looks like he's confirming that it's going to go down from here. We're looking for another wave down, probably more than 50% of this move. And if it doesn't respect it and will break lower, then what we'll be looking for pullback and measure move of what's happening here. So if we go down here, break, pullback, and break lower, it's going to be a measure move of this to be equal to this. And ultimately, we'll be looking for the 50% to be a failure to break lower. If it does, we'll back up again to be a bigger measure move of this one. Is an Elliott wave, but that's the way I always use Elliott wave in my trade. It's always a measure move, percentage 50%, 50 to 61%, or make it simple between 50 to 60%, and you go drill down to the low time frame, and you'll be looking for a failure to continue the momentum down or up. If it's nothing happening, it's going to be sideways. There's going to be a lot of wicks, ups and downs. That means there's no buyer or seller. They're fighting. They're not equal. They're not in agreement. When they become, especially 50% in momentum, is going to be the agreement on a bigger time frame, like a daily. There's going to be a lot of fight going on here. There was no fight at this level because They understand there's a big new level here down here, then there will be a buyer only more than sellers. Only when you see a wicks like that, they exit their position and re-enter again. They exit the position, re-enter again, because they knew that from experience they will be tested many, many times. So they take advantage of sideways situation until we break to new ground. Then they will agree that's the momentum down now, and when we become in a special 50% of each big move, swing move like this, there's going to be a lot of argument going on here and decision to be made. Then if they agree to take the price up again, then you'll be looking for another argument place to make a decision. As you can see, this Aussie is always connected to the stock, and that's why you see it in decision going on all the time. If it's the stock going up and bounce strong at the same time, there's going to be conflict going on here. So in my opinion, this one you need to trade it like euro pound long term. If your account is too small, you should trade it very small and hold on it, okay? Until you come in a nice price, you get a good amount of money, you exit. It's always to do with a breakout. You see that there's no momentum here, and as soon as we break out, is a strong green candle. That's when you get in and you wait for it. Come back again, retest these lows, retest this area where it all started. Let me just get this. I know you don't see well. This is very interesting. Look, we break out of here, come back up, and where we come back. So we're from where all started. We start from this breakout of this candle and we retest it again here, right there. Then you start to recalculate it. This is a different strategy because this price action, it doesn't suit my other strategy, so I have to have a new strategy for this one. There's always a starting point, the exit position, come back, and I take it one more time. You know, like this one, break out of here, come back, retest it again, and push back higher. That's indicating there's a buyer in the market more than seller. Every time the seller take it down, the buyer take it one more time up. We'll have one spot here to watch. Here, 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 retest. Now start showing momentum up. And now we'll start to see that sideways is like indecision going on. So far where we are from the bigger picture, we are around here. It's a pretty much range. You drill down to the low time frame, for example hourly. We break out of this consolidation. We didn't go too far, around here, and we start collapsing back down. It didn't respect the starting point, and it looks like we're going down now. That's the price action on the 1 hour. It's going down. So if you drill this, that's the far, and if you go closer, that's where we are now. So this level, this area, is going to be indecision. So if we break and we start to break here and we start to show momentum back up, the high probability will be testing this trend line on 1 hour time frame. So far we're still in the second level of the second trend line. That's accelerating more down. What else we see? We see here 1, 2, 3 pushes down, and what we're looking for now to break higher, to make 1, 2, 3 pushes up, pull back, and continue back up. So what are we looking for? We have one push here, one push here. I'm looking for the third push up. That could be altogether pullback like this one. We'll be looking for a major move. It's always come down to the major move and price action of Elliott wave and who's stronger in the market. So far, the strong in the market is the bears on this bound Aussie, but look like we bottoming now. They're losing interest, and we have this level here to try to re-challenge it. So let's wait for another a touchy here, pull back small one, 50%, then we'll break higher, hopefully. Okay, pound New Zealand almost identical. It's different behavior, but it's almost. We have one bush, two, three bushes. We'll break above the heads. We're retesting it now, and probably will come back up. We'll be looking for this level here, here. That's a sideways. If you look that back here, it's pretty much sideways. It's not showing any momentum, ups or downs. But if you go to the low time frame, like 1 hour now, it's gonna show momentum back up. Probably gonna have another test here, then probably come back down again. It's gonna be sideways. I wanna wrap it up. Go to the daily quickly. So this move down. This is all to do with oil as well. It's not gonna exact be 50%. It's all to do with oil volatility. Looks like we have a failure. That's a failure to break higher. See the wicks. They exit the position as soon as they start to come back up. They exit plus the sellers coming back, which is 50%. Looks like it's respected because we see that indecision candle, a dodgy, call it dodgy. Yeah, there you go. That's a dodgy day, and now we kind of like a 50% of this move. We kind of stalled here for now. Okay. So remember that's a daily. So each day is huge. So you need to drill down to the 4 hour and 1 hour and make decision. So far what we can see major move actually, guys. I think this is going to be end up as a pullback and a major move. Of this move is going to be equal to this move, and ultimately will be coming down to this level. And if you respect that momentum, this level probably will come back up to this 50%. And if it become a failure, successful breakout, we will be looking for to make a major move of this one up there. It's going to be breaking down to 3 major moves. Okay, Swiss come to the 50% is looks very familiar to cable. Breakout, 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 and now we could be sideways only. There's no any strong momentum down yet, just like cable. So maybe if we have this in play, then we have a clear direction whether or not to be respected and come back up to make a major move of this one equal AB equal to CD, or is going to do just a sideways. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. There's not much of you here, and if you are new, subscribe so to support this channel and leave a comment. And hopefully I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow as well, and I will be try to trend this to do every day live stream. I will try to limit it only to 45 minutes. We'll break the 1 hour mark. So if you have any question, please leave it in a comment, or you can email me directly, and I will be happy to help. Thank you very much, and you have a great day today, guys, and take care of yourself. It's a Monday only, and it's going to be tough days coming ahead because of coronavirus and all stuff. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care. Thanks. Bye bye.